Hi, boys and girls. It's time to like, subscribe, and or follow. This is True Really News. And to have all of your friends and stuffed aminals like, subscribe, or follow. This is True Really News, too. You can do that on Downcast, TuneIn, or Podcruncher. And do it today. Wait a minute, hang on. Today. Where's the camera? There it is. Never mind.
All right.
I'm a radio guy. What do I know about cameras?
This is True Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true, as far as you know.
The Sonoma County Sheriff's Office responded to a call about a suspicious vehicle at a vineyard.
Church?
No.
Grape?
Yeah.
Okay.
The good kind of vineyard. He said, oh, man, I'm going to cheese off somebody. Oh, well.
You can address those to Scott. COMBS.
Heavy on the BS. Yeah, thank you. Deputy, you know, it concerns me that I didn't notice that in my own name till I was an adult. So never mind that now.
That's a little sad.
In any case,
of course, you didn't figure out that my granddaughter's stuffed seal.
Yes.
Lou.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah.
Was her middle name
Lucille?
Bingo. Go ahead.
Deputies found the suspicious vehicle.
Where was this again?
Vineyard, in
Sonoma County.
Sonoma County.
Okay.
Then they found a hat on a piece of farming equipment.
Okay.
Then they came across a man trapped inside a large fan for 2 days. See, the fans used to blow air across the grapes to prevent them from freezing on the chilly nights.
Yeah. They have those huge ones at golf courses down south to blow the frost off.
Yeah. And the deputies kindly asked the man what the heck he was doing inside the fan. The man says,
I think is a fair question.
I like to take pictures of the engines of old farm equipment. So I'm in a fan. After a thorough investigation, the deputies concluded that none of the farm equipment at the vineyard was, in fact, antique, and the man had far more methamphetamine than camera gear.
Curiouser and curiouser.
The 38-year-old Santa Rosa man faces charges of trespassing.
Imagine that.
Drug possession.
Of course.
And you know this one's coming, probation violations.
No, he's been in trouble before.
Can you imagine that?
I didn't see that coming.
Let me just pass the baton.
As long as we have folks in weird places. A woman was found and rescued from a storm drain in South Florida. And now she's been rescued from a storm drain in Texas.
What is this, her bucket list? I want to be rescued from storm drains in every state.
Every state of the union. It's going to be harder in Minnesota. You got to lift up the manhole cover here. Dude.
Exactly. What the heck?
It's not like did you ever watch Columbiana when the little girl escapes by sliding into the sewer drain?
Yeah.
That wouldn't work here. You'd hit the grating. That would be painful. A woman who spent 3 weeks in a sewer system in Delray Beach, Florida, disappeared into a storm drain in Texas. The 43-year-old Lindsay Kennedy was posted on the Grand Prairie Facebook page saying they're looking for her. She is missing. 4 days later, the woman was found by her mom and best friend at a nearby canal. Kennedy told police she went for a swim in the canal near her boyfriend's house. She was curious. You would think the Florida thing probably would have nipped that curiosity right in the bud, but no. She wandered through the tunnels and then got lost. Kennedy's family said that a little over a week after checking into a rehab facility in Texas, oh, there we go, she had wandered off and was reported missing by the local report. Friend Brady Morgan said Grand Prairie police spotted her near a creek, but when they got closer to her, she went into the storm drain. Her family used a tracking app to find her phone, and they were able to ping her last location. They went into the underground system, and the search began. If you were alive in the 70s, this is a TV movie waiting to be made.
Absolutely.
This was not the first, the second time for her, since that has happened in 2021. Not for her, but an elderly man had fallen into a storm drain earlier this year. In January, his neighbor found him after he'd fallen 10 feet into a storm drain.
Yeep.
Charles Marshall went to take his dog for a walk when he realized the man's car was parked funny in the driveway and that there was no grate on the nearby storm drain. The worst part about this whole story is Marshall called down to the man after realizing he was in there. Mm-hmm. The man had fallen, said he was okay, but that he had hit his head. 911 came, took him about almost an hour to get him out, taken to the hospital. Yeah, he did more in his head. He had rather severe injuries. He's back home now. He's living alone. His wife passed away this summer. And according to all his friends, he's the prince of a guy and has great support from his friends and family. So the question remains,
what the heck happened?
what the hell is he doing in the what?
This makes no sense.
Maybe the lady from Grand Prairie opened the storm drain
and enticed him.
Or
using her feminine wiles.
Then he that would be a whole different story. I just figured she opened the storm drain. He came home. She had to hide.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, what the heck is that? And then slipped and fell.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Or she pushed him.
Oh, maybe because, and she could blame it on the drugs.
Or it was on his bucket list.
There we go.
It's odd to have a bucket list that involves a storm drain, though, I must say.
The heist was meticulously planned and executed. Very late at night, when the blood runs thick and slow.
I've gone into a bad Rod Serling movie.
I think we have. Thieves drove a stolen van clear through the front door of a marijuana shop in Colorado Springs.
Subtle.
They grabbed all the merchandise from the display cases they could carry, abandoned the van, hopped into a waiting getaway vehicle, and beat feet to parts unknown. The only wrinkle in the otherwise perfect crime?
That's a perfect crime. What would that only wrinkle be, sir?
The thieves, believed to be teenagers, made off with dummy weed. Everything in the display cases was oregano.
Because who would put the real stuff right there?
That's exactly what the store owner said. Police are reportedly looking for young men offering to sell cut-rate herbs on the black market.
Psst, buddy, oregano. All right, as long as we're doing stupid crooks for 20, Art. This is a very weird story.
Oh, never mind. I'm being stupid.
Yes, you are. As long as we're doing, where was I? Stupid criminals for 20, Art. That shows how old I am. I've never hired a hitman to kill someone. So I
haven't lately. That's for sure.
I don't know. That would be Scott, COMBS,
heavy on the BS. Yeah.
So I'm going to just figure something is flawed here. But apparently some of them are willing to work on a payment plan. I did not know this. All of the TV shows tend to want the cash right there. You get half up front and half later from what I've seen on TV. Claudia Carrion, interesting last name, from Allentown, Pennsylvania, has been arrested with criminal solicitation. She's been charged attempting to hire an undercover detective to take out, guess who? Her hubby.
Her husband, yeah.
Of course. Yeah. According to the criminal complaint filed against the 44-year-old, she's been looking for a hitman. The cops got whiff of the plan from an informant and conducted an underground operation on June the 10th. The undercover cop contacted her, told her he'd be willing to do the hit, and during the discussion, she told him why she wanted her husband dead: domestic abuse and multiple mistresses.
Yeah, I can see where you'd want that at that point.
Oh, don't go too far on that limb yet. No, I'm serious. It's going to get weirder. Carrion offered the pretend assassin $4,000 for the job, which, to be honest, I think 5 is the going rate, but from what I've heard.
Know this how? Yeah.
TV. Just from TV.
Okay.
But soon admitted she couldn't pay the sum up front. So after negotiations, they came up with a payment plan. Carrion would pay $100 right there and then, and $3,900 would be paid over the next 39 weeks in $100 installments.
This is a non-refundable deposit of $100.
Nuts. As soon as she handed over the $100 to the cop, she got new jewelry. One for each wrist. After they arrested her, the cops learned something else that was interesting. In her interview, she did confess that this wasn't the first time she tried to get her husband killed. Court documents say that Carrion had contacted another would-be hitman at an unidentified point in time, but the deal didn't work out. If she's tried to hire a killer twice, you would imagine she would have a very good reason to do it. Here we go. However, at least according to what the cops know now, she said her husband abused both her and her family, although there have been 0 reports confirming this to be the case. Now, it could be she was just too afraid to report the alleged abuse. However, her son Joshua said he's never witnessed any abuse. But Joshua wasn't done there. Joshua thinks someone is setting up his mom. According to him, Carrion helped her husband immigrate to the U.S. out of love and doesn't believe his mother would be the killer. She says he's not that kind. She's a Christian, very religious. My family, we never do harm. We all, innocent. He also said he's blissfully unaware of any abuse. Never. They was always happy, so I don't know about that. Joshua said when asked about his mother's rather, movie of the week claims.
Yeah.
If you're wondering, according to Pennsylvania law, criminal solicitation and conspiracy are crimes of the same grade and degree as the most serious offense which an attempt or solicited or is an object of the conspiracy. All that means is she'll be tried for murder or attempted murder.
Right. Okay.
At the lower end of the penalty scale, she should end up in jail for 20 years if found guilty. Maximum would be life in prison. However, in Pennsylvania, it's a rather odd situation because capital punishment is legal in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
But back in 2015, Tom Wolfe announced a moratorium on executions, though some prosecutors will still pursue them if the case is deemed worthy of first-degree murder charges. Is that the weirdest case in the history of the free world as we know it? I've tried to hire 2 hitmen. Nope, my mom was being set up. And we don't know. Yeah.
Be freaking czar.
So here's what I'm thinking. If you want your husband killed, don't go to Pennsylvania and hire a hitman. This is what I take from this.
This is true, really news. Send email to TiTR@netradio.network.